our memory cards. Stream is running for a few minutes. We have 3 viewers.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully no one's jumping in chat yet. Thank you for the 3 folks stopping by. We're here with Dakota, Oklahoma. See some more accidental bars come through. Let's see. Should work. Okay, thanks for anyone watching. My name is Michael with Common Interest Media. We are here in Oklahoma with Dakota from Slideways Garage. It's going to be a good time. He's getting comfortable with the Clutch Kickers track right now in his Z, which is super fitting. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is CIM Session episode number 4. Very grateful that Mr. Dakota was willing to drop into my TikTok comment section.
Glad to.
And yeah, we're just here to hear about his story because he's up to some cool things. You should check out his TikTok. You should check out Slideways Garage on YouTube. And yeah, so this is pretty fun. Let me know if there's any sound issues or anything. But thank you to the 3 people stopping by. I think there's a bad Wi-Fi. It's not playing. Yeah, we're low. It's all good. I have my guy in Seattle testing the sound. Gonna send it anyway. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you. We got to figure out this network error. Whoa! Weekend ender. Let's go here. Let's work. Let's see. So I guess this is amazing. I've never been this deep into Oklahoma before. Tell me a little bit about where we are, what's going on, who are you, what's happened over there.
We're in Minko, Oklahoma. It's kind of in the middle of Oklahoma, I guess. A little bit south, not much. Just driving on the CIM rig. Little small town. I think the population is maybe 3,000.
Yeah, I saw 1,600 and change on the sign coming in.
Yeah, it's small. Really small. We used to have, the population was actually bigger in like 1800s, like 4,000.
What? Okay. So it sounds like there's some industry out here or something?
It used to be the railroad that came out here, but now it's just a dead little town.
No, it's just a dead little town. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's amazing. So, how does a professional amateur drifting career get birthed from a dead town? How did that come about?
Oh, I've always been into cars, and my first car was a 350Z when I was 16, and I just stumbled across a YouTube video of drifting, and I thought that was super cool. And I think it was in Texas. I think it was a Lone Star event, and I was like, that's super cool. I want to do that. And I tried to see if there was any local Oklahoma events. Had very little hope, but there actually was.
Oh wow!
And it was out of Stroud, Oklahoma. It used to be a big old like mall.
Yeah.
And a tornado came through and blew it over. So then it was just a giant skid pad.
Oh.
That they were letting us drive on for years.
All right. That's amazing.
And that's just, I kind of went to my first event, and it was cool. I watched. I didn't drive. I just went there to watch. I was like, this is cool, but it was okay, I guess. And then I rode in a car, and that's when it really kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to get into.
And you were pretty young, 16, 17?
Yeah, I was probably about 16, 17, maybe 18 when I really got into it hard. But yeah,
that's cool. And your first car is your 350Z?
First one was a 350Z. It's in my backyard. It's literally in pieces. It's nothing but a beer can shell at this point.
Is that the black one that's like bolted to the ground or something?
Yeah.
On your TikTok?
Yeah, we made a little rolling jig for it so I could roll it around. It was originally supposed to be my Pro-Am car.
Okay.
And then it just, plans changed.
I hear you. So now it's I don't want to disrespect it. Is it yard art or is there? What's your plan with it? Because I know that you count it among the cars that you own that exist in your fleet.
I do. I would really like to get it back on the road, and maybe I might never ever get to that level of pro, but I would like to build it into a pro car, just to have. So like a 4-speed dog box. I don't know, LS2J, one of those two.
Yeah.
Close to 1,000 horsepower mark, just for no reason, just to have.
Yes. Okay. That's a unique take on that for sure. Yes. Casually build 1,000 horsepower is a unique dog box. Yes. Just to have. Well, it seems like you've got the basics of your program kind of put together. You already got 600 subscribers. You got the tiki-taki going. And it seems like if you just push down the gas pedal, that could be a reality, right?
Yeah, we're trying. We started uploading YouTube videos maybe 4 years ago, and but we were never really consistent. It was just kind of like there'd be a video 1 month, and then there wouldn't be one for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then I had a baby, and I bought a house 2 years ago.
Congrats.
So we've just kind of been, thank you. We've just kind of been absent on YouTube, but now we're really starting to get back into it. We've been uploading every Wednesday and Friday at about 4:30.
Oh man, that sounds serious.
So I have a bunch of videos on backlog, so hopefully I can stay consistent with it. That's the biggest thing. Is trying to stay consistent when you have a day job, trying to keep your cars running for drift events, and also trying to upload on YouTube.
Yeah, man, I have so much respect for the hustle and what it takes, because I'm a couple fries short of a happy meal with getting this all put together. I do have this, so this is a thing, and I think that there's value to what we're doing here when it comes to sharing whatever wisdom you've been able to deploy over the years, and just talk about it, grow the car culture at least the littlest bit here today. So the next question is like, what is your favorite car that you have?
My 240, definitely my 240. That was really my first drift car. The 350Z was still my daily when I bought the 240, because my parents did buy the 350Z for me, and they were totally against it. Did not want me to modify it. I couldn't do anything to it. Had to leave it bone stock. I did some things to it though, just behind their back, with the little money I had in college.
Right.
And,
okay.
But then I bought a 240 down the street from here for $1,000, running and driving. Drove it home. It belonged to a family member of mine, so I got a really good deal on it.
Wow, you don't even want to say. I love it.
And
I love it.
So I got a good deal on it, and I was told I wasn't supposed to modify it either.
They're just trying to box you in, man.
I know.
That's crazy.
But I had to, because I wanted to get into drifting.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was a 1990 hatch with a single cam in it.
Yep.
And we took it to the first drift event, drove it bone stock for probably 3 events. And then added angle to it, just added like the Villains angle kit, Villains dual caliper with some BC coils on it. Drove it like that for another 2 or 3 events. Then we, one night, decided to turbo it. So I ordered everything off of eBay, and we did it at like 4 o'clock in the morning in December in my driveway, right before the day before an event. And got it tuned by RS Infilty, just like a mail-in tune, and drove it at the drift event all day.
So you started your turbo swap at 4 a.m.?
Yep. Yeah,
and you were drifting that day?
The next day, yep.
The next day, okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's believable. Okay, that makes a little. So
yeah. 4
a.m. it arrives.
Yep.
And you tear into it.
Yep. Get everything. We get it all taken apart, put it all back together, running like poop. It was it was probably like a 200,000 mile single cam KA. Never been no maintenance besides maybe an oil change every 10,000.
Okay.
And put a turbo on it, and it lasted forever. It never blew up on me. I tried to make it blow up. We made close to 400 on 15 psi bone stock motor. It would never die on me. It ran super rich though at some points.
How rich?
We'd go to drift events and I had a hood stack pretty much because I didn't have time to make a full exhaust. So we just had a Harbor Freight flux core welder and welded up a hood dump, and it looked like a Cummins rolling coal. It sounded like a Cummins too.
Wow.
Because it was super rich, super lumpy, but it got down once you got an RPM. It was super fun.
I've never heard of such a successful single or KA turbo dream.
And then
that's amazing.
And then I think probably like a year of driving it turboed with the stock motor, I went out and bought another single cam to build, anticipating it would blow up. And then I built the motor, and 6 months later, it still hadn't blown up. So then I just went ahead and swapped the motor in. It had CP pistons, Manley rods, O&J cam, Precision turbo. We upgraded from the eBay to Precision.
Sweet.
I think that was just like a CX Racing manifold, because at the time nobody made single cam manifolds for the KA.
Right.
It's still super hard, I think. I think a couple companies do. And then we made like 450 on the same 15 pounds of boost, E85. And that thing was super fun, but it was really unreliable. So we switched from the stock ECU to a Mega Squirts, and the Mega Squirts had nothing but problems.
I've heard those things. Hold on to it for a second. So you had tell me about the Mega Squirt evolution.
So I wanted to make a little more power because I wanted to do Pro-Am. So we built the KA motor, and nobody, like AEM, Haltech, nobody made really a plug and play system for the KA single cam. So we just went with the Mega Squirts, and it's just super difficult to work with on the tuning aspects.
Yeah.
And it would always dump my tune files. So we were in Texas Motor Speedway, and we did one lap. It was our first lap at Texas Motor Speedway for Lone Star Drift Pro-Am event, and we did super good. And then I went for the next lap, and it just kind of took a poop on me. It was misfiring. Plugged the laptop in, and it completely dumped the tune. It wasn't saved on my laptop or anything.
I'm so sorry that happened.
It really sucked.
Wow.
And I think that was like the final straw for me. It had problems every now and then. Like it would mess with timing when it wasn't supposed to. When we had timing lockout, it would just like add or retard timing just whenever it wanted to. It didn't really care. And so yeah, I got tired of it at that Lone Star Pro-Am event because I got invited out and it was supposed to be a pretty cool event. And it didn't work out for me. So then I think we went home. We didn't even stay for the second day. Just got tired of the car.
Oh.
Went home, and then that weekend we went and bought an LS3.
Okay, that weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then I was supposed to keep the LS3 stock. I was just gonna do like a baby cam, and then I bought the cam. And then I bought heads, and I bought pistons, and I bought rods.
Dang.
So then we have a full built LS. It's this crazy LS build too. It's an LS3 with a 4-inch stroke in it from Texas Speed.
Okay, good night.
Texas Speed rods, CP pistons, makes 14-to-1 compression.
Oh.
On E100, supposed to make 700.
Okay.
Our last dyno session, two rockers came loose, and we made 500 horsepower on 6 cylinders. So it gets down, but we haven't been able to fix the tune since I got everything fixed. And it just sits in my garage in my shop now, waiting to be fixed. But in the meantime, I bought this 350Z. So I could still go drive with my friends.
That's good. So yeah, we got 2 followers. One guy from the Netherlands. Shout out to you, Electrics. Sorry it's not working for you. I think if my hotspot or something was here, if we beam something there, I haven't figured out the mobile thing just yet, but we're just gonna send it anyways. Electrics. We'll see it on the next one. So you built your LS after that, and then you got this Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the Z. It wasn't right after that. Like, it's been a year since I really drifted because I had a baby, bought a house, so everything kind of got put on pause.
Right.
And then I didn't really have time to work on the 240 to get it back on the dyno.
Okay.
So then December is when I bought the Z. I used my Christmas bonus from work.
There you go.
I bought it for $1,400. It wasn't running. It was cranking, but wouldn't start. The previous owner blew the motor, and they put a new one in, and couldn't figure out why it wouldn't start. So I bought it, took it home, and they forgot to plug in the ECU. So I plugged it in, and it started right up.
Oh my goodness!
So I got a great deal on a Z.
That is astounding.
Yes.
Maybe it just makes up for that bad KA deal or something. I think it's weird when doors slam in your face like that, but other doors
they open.
Fly open.
It's weird. The whole front end was torn apart when I got it. I came in like 3 tubs of stuff, like just big old totes of parts.
Yeah.
I put it all back together.
Is that what was on your TikTok?
Yeah.
All the layout and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Picked it up from Kansas, and just put it all back together within probably like 2 or 3 weeks. Got back together. FDF sent me out the mini angle kit to try out. So it's the mini Mantis. It's not the mild or the mega. It's their baby one. Kind of like, I would put it similar to like a GK Tech kit for the Z's, but it's a little more robust, in my opinion, and it has better Ackerman adjustments.
Okay. And you said they sent it out, so you
yeah.
It was like
flex. It wasn't free, but it wasn't. It was a sponsored part. I still have to pay for things. But
yes, sir.
Not to the fullest extent.
You're almost there. You're coming for James Bean's neck. James Bean next. Okay. What's So what are your plans with the Z as it is? I've seen you do a couple laps around. So GoPro POV stuff.
It's kind of my just like fun seat time car, but it's also super slow, I guess, compared to what I'm used to. And it also seems slower than the other 350Zs that are out there. Like when we go to drift events, mine just seems like it's just super, I don't know, just super down on power. But I bought a turbo kit for it, so I'm gonna just slap that on and see what happens.
Nice. What are you gonna manage it with?
Just the up rev of Cyrus, I think it is, a little plug and play tuner thing that they offer for the Z to unlock it. I don't really know. It's what everyone has suggested.
Okay.
Instead of going out and buying a big expensive Haltech.
Yeah, or a Link or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna set up for one more question here. Get this going. I might try restarting this stream real quick. More time. Because the goal is to have this going, have everyone be able to chime in, and people eventually say funny things to you while you're driving or something.
Yes.
You got to get the on-screen chat
comments.
Yeah. All right. You can definitely see us. We're doing things. Oh, I should get it. Do you know much about streaming?
No, not really. We've thought about doing it on YouTube, live streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know they offer a live stream thing, but never. I feel like nobody would view it. So I'll wait till I get a little more subscribers.
What would you want to do? What type of content would it be?
I don't really know. We're still trying to figure out all the content stuff of YouTube. It's kind of hard because we don't want to just do drift events because then that gets tiring. People just watching you drive the whole time. But then we also don't want to do just working on cars nonstop.
Right.
So it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I hear you.
I wish I had a big compound like Adam. That would make things way easier.
It sure would. You do have a pretty rad shop, though. What's the deal with that thing?
The shop is at my parents' house down the street.
Oh, okay.
It's a small shop. It's like I think like a 24 by 40 maybe. It's enough to put 3 cars in there and work on them.
Okay.
But it gets real crowded real fast. We're in the process of trying to get a shop here in my house. It's a 45 by 70. Big boy. That way I can store all my cars and my friends' cars.
Yeah.
And we can all just work on them.
Shout out to you, Electrics. Thanks for having me restart it. He says, "What's up? Finally, what's up, my dude? Long time no see." Yeah. Oh my gosh! All right, we're live. We got
Live. 0
viewers, but one of the guys commenting. So we're still in the baby phase. I like to say that I'm a medium fry on my way to something. So you got the Z, you got some angle on it. I guess I do want to tip my cap to you, sir. I mean, it's a feat in itself just to get this far in the sport of drifting. Just
Yeah,
as it is.
it is.
Grassroots. So I might, if you're at a grassroots level or above, then it is a victory. We all have dreams, we all have ambitions, and we all have expectations and everything else like that. But just from there, good on you. But how do you do it? How do you afford your dreams? And what's your current main hustle / side hustle? Oh, you're out of gas, my dude.
Oh, nice.
So this is the press and hold to return the pit.
The R3?
Yeah. And now you have more gas.
Now I have more gas. My main hustle is I work for a U.S. It's a compression company for the oil field. So they do the compressors after they drill oil and everything, and you have natural gas that comes out the ground. You have to put something there, and you might as well make the most of it and put a compressor to shoot it down in a pipeline. So we offer a compressor service for all the oil field guys. And that's kind of what we do. And that's my main hustle. My side hustle, don't really have one besides YouTube, but that doesn't generate any money. So it's drifting is super expensive though. It is not easy to do. People that can do it, I don't know. It's hard for me still to try to find enough money just to make it to the next event.
Right.
Or even to fix my car to try to make it for the next one.
Right.
It's definitely draining on your pockets, but it's kind of worth it when you have a bunch of friends that all go with you together.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you. I mean, this is my drift car. You're sitting in mine, so it's definitely a magnificent thing. Do you care to talk about your side hustle that doesn't make you any money, or
YouTube? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We just started YouTube 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And now we're getting back into it. So hopefully it actually becomes something.
Yeah.
We got 620 something subscribers.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, we had like 600, and then we went to a drift event with this logo on our door, and we gained like 20 people. So that was cool. It was definitely worth paying the money for that.
So you went, run that back. I was looking at the comments. So you went to a drift event?
We went to a drift event. We had this decal put on like the 2 days before, I think.
Yeah.
And paid for it. Got it on my car and my brother's car. We both have pretty much identical Z's.
Yeah.
Both silver.
Uh-huh.
And I think we gained like 20 subscribers after that event.
That's amazing.
And we had some people comment saying we saw you at the event, saw 2 cars there with it. And so yeah, it was definitely worth paying the money for that.
Sick.
Hopefully we get some more subscribers as we go to Texas, and trying to go to a couple Kansas events this year, maybe Arkansas. Don't know. We'll see where it goes.
For sure, man. For sure. That's amazing. So is it worth it to talk about the oil and gas thing that you provide, or is it you kind of just it is what it is, or
it is what it is. The natural gas stuff for the oil field is pretty steady. I never have to worry about layoffs really.
yeah, okay,
So yeah, it's because even if there's no oil rigs being drilled, there's still natural gas coming out of the ground from the previous oil rigs that I've drilled.
okay,
So we have to constantly keep those up for maintenance. So we always have to replace parts, and there's an engine attached to it, and we mainly work on the engines. We do compressor work every now and then, but it's mostly engine related stuff.
nice.
So changing cylinder heads and turbos and
Dang.
all that fun stuff.
Wow. Okay. So it helps you, or it insulates your ability to continue wrenching.
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes it gets tiring though. But I hate working on stuff turning a wrench and then coming home to work on my stuff turning a wrench. But it all works out.
I hear you. I hear you with that. Let's see. So when it comes down to it, you've got the infrastructure for a successful YouTubing career. You've got enough money to pay to keep driving at a grassroots level. You've got a Pro-Am capable 240 in your back pocket that needs a couple more things.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's the baseline for a drifting dream. So tell me about your dreams in drifting and the sport and everything.
I would like to do Pro-Am, but it feels like they just keep changing the rules up almost every year with Pro-Am and I guess the new Pro Spec, I guess is what it's called instead of Pro 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to do Pro-Am, but it's going to be really expensive compared to just grassroots stuff.
Yeah.
So
Quite the jump.
We have Pro-Am. I guess it's like a Pro-Am licensing here in Oklahoma, but I don't know. I feel like, and there's only like 4 or 5 people that are really in it for Pro-Am, so I feel like it's not really. It's competition. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like the level of competition you would get at Texas, where there's 30 cars.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I got my Pro Spec license there, I really and I went to Pro Spec, I would get slaughtered compared to those guys. So
yeah, the field, especially at the Pro-Am level, is really growing. I know that there's a couple standout guys in that Pro Spec field that are you got to have some sauce just to get in the door.
Yeah, we got my buddy here in Oklahoma, Jack Davis. He just got his Pro Spec license. He was doing the Pro-Am event here and in Texas, but he got it in Texas, and they're building his car right now for Pro Spec.
Nice.
So
that's incredible.
It's good to see another Oklahoma guy that's going to be out there.
For sure. That is really fun. Let's see. So do you think you'll take it to, you just want to knock on the door of Pro-Am?
I think I would like to try it just to say I tried it, because I feel like if I never do, then I'm always going to have that thought in the back of my head of why didn't I try this at least to see what it was about?
Yeah.
Maybe I would enjoy the competition more. Maybe I don't. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I would like to at least give it a fair shot, instead of the KA 240.
For sure, for the one time.
Yeah.
All right. What would be like delusional? Would you love to be Pro Boy or crazy YouTube man, or?
I would probably prefer YouTube better, because I feel like if you're pro and trying to do YouTube, you have to keep up a super good image. And me and my friends love to do dumb stuff all the time, so I feel like I'd be really bad for sponsors.
Unless they were like redneck sponsors?
Yeah, unless they were okay with it, yeah. Like, I don't know, my parents might be, because my parents own a gun store here in Miko, and they help sponsor.
Okay.
They do some stuff. They might be down to see some fun stuff to put on YouTube to promote the car, and they might not. I don't know. It might put a bad image on them. It's hard to say. It's hard to tell what sponsors want nowadays, really.
Right.
Besides good content.
And reach, I think.
Yeah.
But reach that's pointed. I'm still early in this game where you got to put pitch decks together and articulate your audience and stuff like that. Do you have all that?
Somewhat. I have a pitch that I usually give to most of my sponsors.
Yeah.
And FDF was my first real sponsor, and they my black car that was supposed to be my Pro-Am car. They sponsored the angle kit for it.
Nice.
And then I ended up selling everything.
Oh no.
So I could get the 240 to be a Pro-Am car. And they helped me with that angle kit and got the rear grip kit and pretty much everything really for the 240 has been from them.
Oh wow. Okay. So they want to see you succeed.
They want to, yeah. But it's been a strong curve to try to get that car out there with the way life's been.
Yes.
So I know they're probably upset, but they still helped me out. I think I was with them when they were like a super small company.
Okay.
Just fresh out of Canada. Not many people were still on the whole big Wise Fab. I think some people still are the big Wise Fab curve. But I prefer FDF over the Wise Fab.
Nice, man. Okay.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
Really?
There's not, my biggest thing is sway bar. I love to have a sway bar on my car.
Okay.
Makes the car feel more connected. And Wise Fab does not offer a sway bar mount when you go to their angle kit, but FDF does.
Okay. Is that so? I don't want to use the word sloppy with Wise Fab. But
I think it's just the way they design their kit. Most cars back then, big drift cars, didn't really run a sway bar for reasons I don't know why. Maybe it was just the way they liked it at the time.
Okay.
But it definitely the car feels more connected to the ground, and
Right.
you get that 3-wheel like Chelsea DeNofa stance when you have a sway bar hooked up.
All right.
It's super grip.
And you said rear grip, and there's so it sounds like you have a pretty incredible 240.
They have the whole front end, the whole rear end, suspension parts, the dual caliper setup, pretty much everything to make it a good car suspension wise. And we have BC Racing coils, Monster LS3. So it would be a fun car. I just have to finish it.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, man. Well, I can feel like we're both just like reaching for the thing. Like we're headed in that way. So it's fun to meet you on the journey and stuff like and hear your story. So one of the things that's also happening in the drift industry is the fact that the EPA is actually actively shutting down shops and finding them pretty egregiously. I've heard numbers around like they'll just if you're foolish enough to accidentally give them access to your data and who you sold things to, they'll pick the list of parts or things that they deem are inappropriate, and they'll tally it all up, and then they'll hit you with this fine. I've heard up to $180,000, and you're faced with paying the fine or settling or something else like that. And I've heard them settle down something that large, settle down to somewhere around 20 grand. But still, even $18,000 out of your pocket just to satiate the EPA for their ambitions to curb and keep everything green. What's your message to the EPA?
I mean, I don't really know, man. EPA stuff is really, really tough because here in Oklahoma we don't really face big stuff like that. The car community in Oklahoma is really open. The cops won't pull you over if you have a super loud exhaust. I do know, I think Holly kind of got fined recently.
Yeah.
But they're a pretty large company, and they have a bunch of backers, so I think they'll be okay. But I don't know, man. It's tough to say what's going to happen in a couple years if they continue to move forward with the EPA stuff. Drifting might be a dying sport, and we all might convert to EV cars that have throw angle kits on Teslas, and I don't really know. It's tough to say.
It is. Check get this camera going behind me again. Yeah, man. I think we very well could be seeing the door closing on the sport of drifting overall, and that's kind of the why I'm doing this. That's why we get to, even if you're clawing to get into the arena. I think that's really important that we celebrate and we get to hear some of your facts and wisdom. Like, I guess for someone that's new into this or watching or something like that, and they have aggressive driving ambitions, what would you kind of tell them?
I would tell them, don't be scared to go to your first event. Don't be scared to buy a cheap drift car just to get into it. That's the biggest thing you can do, is just put that foot in the door to get in it. Don't go out and overbuild your car. Just get a cheap seat time car, go drive it, have fun with your friends, meet new friends, because I think drifting among the auto sports industry is probably the most open and welcoming community out there, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to events and just ask people questions on how to set up your car and stuff, they will 100% give you advice on how to do it. They're not going to keep secrets from you. They want everyone to succeed.
For sure. I've definitely heard that, and I've experienced that with the sim setup as well. They're really like, oh, you're new, this is what you kind of got to do.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of resources out there to make sure you got to get it right.
Yeah, I think just getting your foot in the door is buying a car and getting out there your first track day is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, the game's over from there.
Sure. Yeah, you'll be hooked.
Definitely. Who deserves a shout out? Who's helped you out in your career?
Daniel Webster is probably my best friend ever, and he's been with me in this whole endeavor from the very beginning. We met in probably 2016, 2015, and we've been best friends ever since from the car community.
Sick.
So I talked him into buying a drift car, and he's gotten into it pretty heavily. We all have 350Zs now that we just go out and shred on the weekends that we can, all drive together. FDF, big thank you. Cosme Wheels, Accelera, R&M Arms, they're all a big part in helping us get out there every day to try to shred every weekend at least.
For sure. Every weekend?
Pretty much. We have 5 drift days coming up here in May, so it's gonna be super taxing on us, but
okay,
it's all for the YouTube content. So
for sure. Okay. What's it like being an actual sponsored driver?
It's okay. You have to constantly push out content and try to please them the best you can instead of just sitting back and relaxing. But it's definitely worth it to get parts cheaper. You never get it for free. You always still have to pay. That's the big thing. If you're young and trying to reach out for a sponsorship, you're still going to have to pay. Don't expect it to be free.
Right.
Whatsoever. Because it won't be.
All right. For sure. Yeah, there's this like hump of like, I think you got to isolate your content strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a good driver, and then you have to actually be out there doing the thing, making it work.
Yeah. Definitely. And if you know some good people too, you might be able to throw that in and help get a sponsorship. Chelsea Denofa definitely helped me with the BC hookup on all my cars. I run BCs on pretty much every single car I own.
Okay.
And he's helped me spec out every coilover that I put on my car, and he's definitely a wizard when it comes to suspension.
Yes.
He knows his stuff.
So you've got, what is it like going from 0 sponsors to having a handful and driving that? Is that something you did consciously, or is that something you're like, oh my gosh, this is working, and then you're kind of just running as you go? It
was kind of a run as I go thing. It was reach out to one person and it worked, and drive a couple events, and then you reach out to the next person and they're like, okay, well, you have this sponsor, so we would like to also work with you. And you just kind of keep going down the rabbit hole of trying to get more and more people on board to hopefully see that you are worth something and that you're going to pay off eventually.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. They have to see that. They have to trust in you and believe in you, and I'm super appreciative for all the sponsors that have done that to me.
Yeah, that is
so
amazing.
Far.
Shout out to everyone else.
Yes.
So Accelera, Cosmes, FDF, Tire Streets, and the gun store. What's the gun store?
R&M Arms.
R&M Arms out here in Oklahoma. Thank you for your participation in the sport of drifting itself, helping my man Dakota to get out there and make it happen. When it comes down to it, this is where we kind of open it up and go into a general discussion. Is there something that's burning on your mind? What do you think about the sim angle? What do you think about 700 horsepower versus the 300 horsepower sitting next to you? What do you think?
The 300 horsepower. I wish this car made 300 horsepower. This car probably makes like 200 on a good day.
Okay.
It's super slow. I think 400 horsepower is the big sweet spot for drifting. 400 to 370, I think, is a good sweet spot for drifting.
Okay.
Anything over that is really overkill, unless you're trying to get into Pro-Am or trying to go somewhere, or unless you just want to be super cool and throw mad smoke clouds with reverse entries. But
I mean, who doesn't like it?
yeah, this car is fun. It's just super slow. That's why I'm buying a turbo kit for it. And hopefully after this month of May of driving, we'll actually put it on in June, because I think June we have a couple weeks of downtime before we go to the next event.
Nice.
So
Ambitious.
hopefully we throw it on. My tuner said he's down to tune it, so we just have to make time to put it all together.
Good deal. It's not nothing, but it sounds like you're the man for the job. There's no one else better.
Yeah, we're trying the best we can.
How are you doing with racing dreams, a work-life balance, new baby and job and everything? How's that?
The baby's pretty easy. I thought it was going to be super difficult. I thought I wouldn't be able to do anything after I had a kid. It was definitely not the case. But every baby is different, I guess. So my baby was super easy. Hospital bill was pretty low. So I'm pretty happy with it.
That's good.
Baby thing's good. She actually came to our last drift event. She had little infant earmuffs on.
There you go.
Didn't cry a single time at the event.
Oh.
And yeah. And then
I like your gender reveal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Check out the Slightly Slideways Garage or TikTok for that gender reveal.
Yeah, that was definitely fun. I wanted to. That was a big push for that car at that time because it didn't run.
Oh.
We were still trying to figure out oil pressure issues. Because like it would have good oil pressure, and then it would just instantly drop to like 2 psi when it was warm. And it just turns out that the oil pump we had, the Mellings oil pump, was just a piece of crap, I guess.
Oh wow!
So we switched to a dry sump. And,
okay, I remember that TikTok too. Yeah.
And I haven't had any issues since. It holds perfect on oil pressure.
Okay.
Hot, cold, no matter what.
Love that.
But the work thing is definitely hard.
The work thing is hard?
The work is hard because I have to bounce around being on call all the time.
Okay.
And trying to make drift events work. So it's work is definitely difficult to try to balance those two out. But it works out. I have some pretty good coworkers that understand and will take my on call, and I'll take their on call when there's not an event working or going on. So
okay, that's amazing.
Sometimes it works out. Like all of May, didn't have to move my on call schedule around at all. It just all kind of worked out.
That's good. Shout out to those homies out there in the field.
Yes.
Well, what do you think about a setup Corsa? I think this is your.
It's definitely fun. It's way better than my Xbox on sim racing, but it's definitely different than an actual car.
So it's better than the Xbox.
A lot better than Xbox. Xbox is almost impossible to drive on.
Okay, that's fun, definitely.
Yeah,
but different than a car.
Different than a car.
Say more.
It's a little different. I think you just have to get used to it. It's harder, in my opinion, than a car. But I think if you started out on this and then got into drifting, you would definitely be. It's okay. You would definitely be a way better driver.
Okay.
Than just going out without any knowledge or any practice whatsoever. You would be definitely better.
For sure, because you probably burned through $600 in tires already.
Oh, probably. probably close to $1,000 in the 240.
Oh, yep, absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Dakota, for your time.
Thank you for making it all the way down here.
Yeah, it sure is quite the journey. Oklahoma does it different. I love that you guys can get away with stuff pretty easily.
Yeah.
And you're not too affected by the creeping, crawling forces that are actually doing some bad stuff to what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but hopefully it doesn't come. If it does, probably be in the next 10 years, I would think.
Yeah. I think
not
they
more.
will try. Do you have any closing thoughts on the state of car culture or culture in general, like, or advice for folks that are maybe spectators or?
If you're a spectator and you want to ride along, go ask. Most drivers are going to say yes, 100%. I feel a lot of my friends that go to drift events that come with me, they're always scared or nervous that they're going to get turned down for a ride. Majority of the time, the driver's going to tell you yes.
Okay, yeah.
And
just go on in.
And that's a good way to get into drifting too, is to get a ride along in a car. Because I feel like once most people get a ride along in a car, it's a sealed deal. Like, this is the funnest thing I've ever done. I want to do this now. So
nice.
And I think that'll get more people into drifting as well.
Definitely, yeah. What do you think about the clutch kickers track?
Definitely fun. I do want to do this in my car. I'm going to try to make an attempt to come down, make it at least one event this year in the 240.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Hopefully we can do it. I got to paint my body kit and finish the tune.
Yeah.
It should be ready.
Definitely. So you're mainly focused on YouTube and TikTok?
Yeah, we just started out on the TikTok thing. We actually made our own Slideways Garage TikTok.
Oh, yep, gotta follow that then.
Instead of just my personal.
Yep.
So we're trying. TikTok is a super tricky, hard thing to try to figure out how the algorithm works. I hear you have to post like 3 times a day to actually get like a good viral video. But man, it's hard to find content to post 3 times a day, especially in the car community.
Right. Yeah. It is tough. I have heard that 3 or if not 4. I've done this for almost like a year and a half or so, and I was chilling at 300 followers for a good while, and then started posting this content kind of consistently, and then it's like every other day I drop something like this or my story or something like that, and it's been working.
It's definitely a grind. You have to keep at it, especially on your social media, because if you stop on social media, then you just have to work hard to get all that movement back that you did have.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing we're finding out with YouTube, is that we were usually getting around 100 views a video. There'd be a couple videos where we got a couple thousand just randomly, don't know why. And then we just stopped uploading, and now it's like 50 views is like a good video.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's probably 10, 20, maybe 30. So it's definitely a grind and a struggle to try to get your name out there on the social media stuff.
Yeah, I've heard it said that you have to be 50% a good driver 50% of the time, and then a good marketer.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems like every time we don't film something funny happens, and we always miss it.
Oh.
That's the biggest thing. We bite ourselves in the butt all the time. We're like, why weren't we filming that?
Sure.
But
good deal.
I think my 240 caught on fire like 3 times, and we never filmed any of it.
Oh man. Yeah, that would get some clicks. I already know. I guess so. What are your closing thoughts on this, the sim, your career, your sponsors, everything else like that?
I'm definitely gonna have to get a PC sim, because this is way better than my Xbox.
Okay.
Career-wise, I think we're just gonna have fun this year. Try to maybe go to a clutch kicker event. Try to at least. But I think for the most part, we're gonna try to travel for drifting this year. Just try to get our YouTube out there some more, because Oklahoma is only so limited to the amount of views I'm gonna get. We'll try Texas, Kansas. I think there used to be a track. I don't know if they do it anymore in Louisiana. It was kind of like a cool track.
Okay.
But I've heard that they don't allow drifting there anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes there's one track in Portland that doesn't allow drifting. Yeah.
So I'd like to go to the Villains track too this year, just to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I think that
you can drive it here. I have it downloaded.
So I'd definitely like to go to that track. I think we're gonna just try to travel more this year and try to get out there, try to reach more viewers.
Good deal. So check out Slideways Garage. Watch out for Dakota. He's coming for you here in the middle of the country. My name is Michael with Common Interest Media. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me and Dakota banter about the sport of drifting and where it's headed and everything else there. The point of this channel is to encourage folks to incrementally get closer to the dreams that they're pursuing, because it literally makes the world a better place when you do. There's you grow your community, you grow your hobbies and passions, and we're here for it. So we're starting with drifting, and we can't thank you enough for watching if you've made it this far in the video. So get after it, whatever you like doing. You don't have to start a business in it. You don't have to take over the world. Sometimes when it comes down to it, just taking little bits of steps to do those little bits of research outside of your regular life, because life can be pretty chaotic, but if you've got a dream or a vision, just get yourself one little step at a time, because that's how you build trust in yourself. You literally make the world a better place when you do all that. So thank you very much for stopping by. This is it for me and Dakota out here in the middle of Oklahoma.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good work.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
That's sick.
Thank you for making the drive down here.
Yeah.